Well, good morning, everybody, and absolutely welcome to the second day of my favorite season of the year, autumn. It is just an absolutely lovely day today, and there is rain forecast in the future. So that sounds like a great plan to me. We desperately need the rain here in the hills, or hunting season is in jeopardy, which is not a good thing in West Virginia. What I think I'd like to share with you a little bit today is something that I have issues with. And you may well have similar challenges in this area. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I rather doubt it. And the topic I just like to talk with you about and maybe get your input on is procrastination. Putting things off that you know you need to get done, but for whatever reasons, just don't seem to get around to it. Uh, Bill Gates was once attributed to a quote that says, most people estimate what they can get done in a year and underestimate what they can accomplish in a decade. Well, in my case, I think that I tend uh, to overestimate what I can get done in a day, but underestimate what I can do in a week's time. Pretty much the same thing, but a little smaller time scale. Uh, how do we get around this tendency to procrastinate? Because it seems like some tasks I just want to put off forever. Even though I know they're important, I know they need to be done. And sometimes I put myself up on a time sensitivity schedule that is really unrealistic. But for some reason, I still seem to want to procrastinate. And I can make the best excuses for not doing whatever it is. I don't know if you've ever experienced that or not, but you have to own it, whatever it is, when you begin to procrastinate. Uh, I do struggle with it. I've gotten much better through the years. And one of the reasons for that is because I attended a seminar once called Eat the Frog, which was focused on procrastination. And it really helped me see that in a wholly different light and made a huge difference in how I approached something that I really didn't particularly want to do for whatever reason. Uh, Maybe you're a person that gets a lot of stuff done, but it just doesn't seem to be making progress on the important stuff. I can have this one important thing that needs to be done, but I can find all kinds of other stuff to do instead of it. And at the end of the day, it still hasn't been accomplished, and I'm sort of frustrated with myself. Uh, but sometimes it's just hard to stick to a schedule. Other things begin to come in on you as the day goes along, and that one thing that was really important and needed to be accomplished sort of gets buried in the pile of other needs, wishes, and demands that are heading your way. Uh, Sometimes I just have trouble deciding which of several important things I need to be working on at any given time. It's not always that you only have one task on your plate that has to be done. And that leads me sometimes to just feeling overwhelmed by my to-do list. So, uh, with that in mind, let's talk about what could happen if we were be able to eat the frog first. Uh, Very simply, you identify the frog, you eat it, and then you do it again the next day. Not hard. Identify whatever the frog of the day is, eat it, and repent. Isn't it funny that we're talking about eating? You know, even on something like procrastination, that seems to be something that we chew on and give, and that pun was intended, and give considerable thought to. One of the reasons I really like this Eat the Frog method is it does help in minimizing my tendency to procrastinate. It prioritizes those high impact tasks that I need to uh, set myself toward, and it boosts my sense of accomplishment when I get it done and sets a positive tone for the rest of the day. It tends also to build momentum to tackle other tasks that are on my list, and who doesn't have a list of things to do almost each and every day. Um, this actually was based on a book by Brian Tracy, which is called Eat That Frog. 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. I really enjoyed the seminar that was based on the book. I found it just so helpful. And Mark, one of the concepts in there was actually attributed to Mark Twain, so you know it goes back a ways. It is your job to eat a frog. It's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat two frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. Pretty practical advice, something that you sort of hang your hat on. And even if you say, one task, are you insane? I have dozens of things I have to get done every day. I can't possibly just do one thing. Well, that's true. I'm pulled, as I think you are, in a million different directions and can get overwhelmed by the number of things to pile up on my plate each day. But you don't even know where to start. Eating your frog first at least removes the one task that requires your greatest energy and focus. Then you can keep working on your less important but more urgent tasks that usually get in the way of this high priority goal that you have. Um, Approaching your day this way, for me, helps me develop uh, a deep work habit. Uh, and I think that's really important as we go through life, that we do set up to support the kind of distraction-free deep work that this type of task, that's a high priority task, requires. We're so distracted by email, by meetings, by chat messages, by texting, requesting our input, that we don't have time or space to focus often on this high impact task. But if you make that your priority at the start of every day, you can push back against those distractions, whether they be external from people interrupting us, or internal, us interrupting ourselves. And I'm a good one for that. I can interrupt myself, it seems like, in a nanosecond, and keeping focused on prioritizing the actions that will actually get me closer to that goal. It sets, in fact, your own agenda. You don't have to rely on others to set it for you. You set your own agenda. Don't start out your day by answering emails. You may never get back to what your most important task was if you're like me. So as soon as you start responding, you've given up your time and attention to what other people want or need you to do. And that isn't always the best approach, depending on what the task is. it sets you up to win as well, which is always a nice way to start your day. Um, if we're overestimating what we can get done in a day, even when we know we're likely to overestimate it, it's even more important that we get that high priority item up there and take care of it as soon as we can. It takes the full advantage of our best working hours. I tend to like to get it done as soon as I get up and go through a basic routine to start my day. I think more clearly, I'm more able to focus uh, and to accomplish more at that time of the day. But that may not be you. Your most productive hours of the day may be entirely different than mine. And the nice thing about this is you take advantage of what your best working hours are for accomplishing that whatever it is that you've set for yourself. It's also wonderfully simple and infinitely flexible, and yet it's extremely effective to take care of this the first thing in the day. You've made progress on something meaningful, and that sets you up to continue on a very positive journey throughout the rest of your day. Things that help me to stick to this, and I think sticking to it for me is again one of the challenges. And when you're building good habits, it's really important to be consistent in what you're doing. First thing is to decide on what your frog is. I call it the most important task. What is most important? Uh, it's in a category that is, in fact, important, but not so urgent that the world will come to an end if you don't accomplish it. Sometimes that most important task will change overnight. You have to build in flexibility for it. Hopefully, you'll be able to find something that can be completed in a relatively manageable period of time, like a few hours, so that your whole day is not just focused on that one thing. That may require that we break whatever it is down into smaller steps and smaller parts in order to get it done. It may actually have more steps that take more time that would be exhaustive if you tried to get it all done in the day. But if you can break this down, whatever the important thing is, into manageable steps each day, then you can move forward and have a real sense of moving forward in your plan. Something as simple even as planning a gathering for family and friends. We've had some significant anniversaries, some significant birthdays in our family, and we're a very social group. And coordinating who can come, when they can come, what you're going to serve, who's going to bring what. All of these are just a lot of things to bring about the most important task, which is a celebration of some type for some reason. But if you break it down into steps, it suddenly becomes much more manageable. You can say, well, today, this is what I need to accomplish. Tomorrow, you say, okay, this is what I need to accomplish. And you step through it, making sure that you complete that important task for that day. And when the final event comes in all its complexity and variety, everything has been done that needed to be done, and you feel really good about what you've been able to do. Again, there's a really resist trying to plan ahead simply because things do come up that you can't anticipate, and it doesn't always go according to what you're grand world view of it is. So flexibility, I find in any case, is always one of the key elements to consider. You may have to totally rearrange the frog you thought you were going to eat today. You may have to eat another one, and that's okay. Uh, you don't need to schedule a whole list of frogs out for several weeks to come or fill a month with frog eating. Uh, you can choose every morning what it's going to be. Uh, and that again allows you not to be conflicted because now you feel like you've got two big things that you've got to do. I like to prepare sort of the night before. Hopefully, nothing happens overnight, but you never know. You might still need to change it. Uh, I usually just decide what it's going to be, and I put a little sticky note up on the mirror in the bathroom because first thing I always do is get up and brush my teeth. I know you're glad to know that. Uh, and I start off the day with that in mind. Say, okay, this is where my focus needs to be, and this is what I'm going to accomplish. And I go for it. And it's not a foolproof method of staying on track, but it does become a powerful reminder of what I decided I was going to be working on and really decreases the chance that I'm going to be distracted, uh, looking, wondering what I'm going to do. I've already set a plan in place. Uh, Eating the frog first thing in the morning when you sit down, if that's possible, or when you go outside, if that's where the task that needs to be completed is, uh, should involve not scheduling other things that make it impossible to go in that direction when you first start out. Don't start answering emails and get distracted. Don't start texting your friends. Don't start browsing the internet and looking up TikToks and checking Instagram. Even if you think it's only going to take a minute, there again is the procrastination. You can waste a heck of a lot of time on that. And the day comes to an end and you think, oh, I was going to do whatever, and I never got around to it. Well, that's because you were not focusing your mental energy on that frog and only that frog until you got it accomplished. When you block both external and internal distractions, your mind is really less cluttered with minor issues, which can aid, I think, in my ability to focus better and to make better decisions more quickly. Um, some of you may not be a morning person. That doesn't matter whether it's 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. What matters is that you do this high priority item at the time of the day when you feel most energized, most focused, and most productive. That's the time to take full advantage of your talents, skills, and mental agility. Is when you are in that state, in that frame of mind. When the time comes around each day, do your most important task first. Whether you're looking to overcome procrastination, like I was this morning, or bring focus and attention every day to what you want to accomplish, eating the frog is a deceptively simple yet powerful tool to help you get there. And my focus today, my high priority item, is to go shopping and make some preparations for the week ahead that will aid me in my journey to living my healthiest life. And I am really looking forward to accomplishing that task because grocery shopping is not one of my most favorite things, but it is very important. And I am going to head out the door now and have at it. I hope you have a marvelous day. Enjoy yourself tremendously. Eat that frog, it's high protein. And I will talk to you later. Bye for now.